Alright guys, today I want to talk to you about the importance of greasing your chassis on your GM 3/4 and 1 ton trucks. I've had a 2011, a 2015, and now a 2022 3/4 ton. They all have the same locations to grease on the front end. So I'm going to talk about them today, go through my process of doing it, and show you a quick shortcut for one hard to get Zerk fitting. So to start off, I want to talk about the locations. The most obvious locations are the upper and lower control arm and then the tie rod ends. So that's 1, 2, 3 on the passenger side, 1, 2, 3 on the driver's side. It's going to be located on the top of the upper control arm, on the bottom or on the side of the lower control arm, and then on the top of the tie rod end that connects to your tire assembly or your hub assembly. The other two or three, excuse me, that are a little difficult to get to are the idler and pitman arm on the steering center link. And I'm going to show you a shortcut. They make a little hose that connects to the pitman arm that makes that Zerk fitting a lot easier to get to. So there's a total of 9 Zerk fittings on this truck that you will need to grease, and I grease mine about every other oil change. We'll talk about the tools you're going to need. This makes it really easy if you have one. This is an electric automatic grease gun. It's made by Milwaukee. I know a few companies make one. I think DeWalt makes another version of it, but this makes it really easy. It's got I think this is an 18 or 24-inch grease tube on it, so it makes those hard to get Zerk fittings a little easier to get to. But you could also do this with a standard grease gun as well. To take the skid plate off, you don't have to take the skid plate off, but it makes it a lot easier. 15mm socket, and I've just got it on an automatic impact wrench there, or a socket wrench, and then you could definitely use just a standard socket wrench if you want to. I recommend a set of gloves. This is a messy process, especially when you over grease some of these Zerks and you have to wipe it off. And this is really what I want to talk about today. This is made by Moog. It is a problem solver tube that goes from your pitman arm and then routes over to basically your sidewall close to your fender well on your passenger side to make that Zerk fitting a lot easier to get to. Those of you who have done this before know that one is just a pain in the butt. So, alright, so this is the problem solver hose that goes on the pitman arm assembly, and as you can see, it's probably a 12-inch long hose, and what it does is this little piece screws into the assembly and then forms a right angle to attach to that hose, and then this will actually bolt into the sway bar support that bolts into your frame and comes out next to your wheel well. So let me show you kind of where that is here. I've already removed the skid plates so we can see it a little better. Where we're talking about is this Zerk fitting here. So as you can see, the skid plate goes on here. Without the skid plate, it's kind of easy to get to, but you kind of need a right angle Zerk grease fitting. This hose will actually bring that fitting and attach it here so that you can access it easily from the underside of your truck. So let's go over these 9 Zerk fittings. So you have one here on this assembly. You can kind of see one on the top of that pitman arm there. If we come over to this arm, we have another Zerk fitting that connects to the center link here. These are a little difficult to get to, but not terrible. And then as far as our control arms, we have, you can see this boot here. We have a Zerk on this lower control arm boot. We have a Zerk fitting here on the tie rod end, and then you have a Zerk fitting on top of the upper control arm as well. So let's count them: 1, 2, 3. We do that on the other side. That's 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, and then 9. Alright, here's the end result of the problem solver hose made by Moog. Also, I was calling this the pitman arm earlier. This is actually the idler arm. The pitman arm is on this side, driver's side. The idler arm is on the passenger side. As you can see, it goes up right angle out of the assembly and then comes down here and hooks to the support of your sway bar. And very easy access from the wheel well. You come in under here with your grease gun, pop it in right there. So really the only problem children at this point are the idler and the pitman arms themselves, the end, which is right here, you can see, and then on this side, right here on top. And that control module right there is right in the way. So that's a difficult one to get to. I may end up putting a right end Zerk on that fitting or in that hole, but we'll see. So remember guys, grease your chassis every other oil change. It will make your suspension system last much longer. See ya.